I'm out here at the park.
0 feet altitude, 11 feet distance, 0 miles per hour, 99% battery.
About to run a mission. No wind today, so it should be a nice safe flight. Good sunlight. Got my focus in focus. And away we go. Gonna head up the hill and circle the nice house that's up there. One of the hidden mansions.
(227 feet altitude, 979 feet distance, 26 miles per hour, 94% battery.
We're gonna climb up to almost 400 feet because the elevation goes way up there. Beautiful day to fly. Get a little tiny breeze, but nothing major. And I shouldn't lose connection, so all is well. It's not that far away. GPS trackers on board. As I said before, yesterday I had the SIM card and the GPS tracker in backwards, so it didn't work.
(338 feet altitude, 2,728 feet distance, 26 miles per hour, 89% battery.
Good elevation. I think this is a point of view focus type thing. Looks like I got trees are a little close, but they look closer than they really are. Good, I can control.
399 feet altitude, 4,927 feet distance, 25 miles per hour, 86% battery.
Wasn't sure if I could control the camera, but I can.
Warning, disconnected.
I'll come back in a second. Just on the outside of the turn. Yeah, it was the furthest point away.
(399 feet altitude, 4,124 feet distance, 16 miles per hour, 80% battery.
Only lost it for a second. It's going to take another turn around that joint. That is some high elevation up there.
399 feet altitude. 4,501 feet distance. 26 miles per hour. 76% battery.
Might lose the connection for a minute again, but maybe not. It's already around the turn. This is the last turn. I lost it for a second. It should come right back.
Warning, disconnected.
There we go.
399 feet altitude. 4,173 feet distance. 17 miles per hour. 71% battery.
Waypoint 19. Now it's going to head down to the road and then come back up 150 and over here.
$354 feet altitude. 3,885 feet distance. 22 miles per hour. 67% battery. Warning, disconnected.
I want to bring it back home because I wasn't comfortable with the altitude. Here we go again. Fucking anxiety. And so, as we obviously see, I hit the treetops and I crashed. Roughly about maybe 10-15 seconds before I noticed it was too low and I tried to raise altitude, I hit the return from home button. But the drone never got the memo and it kept on going. So the end result was it flew into a tree and immediately called the GPS, found the location, shot over to where it was. It took me about 20 minutes to find it. So I found it, and the camera was still running even though I cut out about 20 minutes of the camera just laying there upside down. So it was a good outcome. The next part of the video, I'm just going to show how I set the GPS thing up. So you'll see that. Lost the prop. Broke 2 legs. But, most importantly, the battery stayed in, otherwise we never would have found it. It's all good. Minor damage. So, okay, these are the steps I took to have to use my GoPro. It's my only option because otherwise I got an Osmo right here, but I only got 2 hands. So this is the GPS tracker, which, like I said, this drone the other one there that crashed yesterday, but it had kind of a really modified all this up, this GPS tracker with this Velcro. So what happens is that, well, when my first drone crashed, I had it on there just like that, nothing to hold it, right? So it hit the ground, that came off, battery popped out, everything is not working. I never even found the first GPS tracker because what happened was, as soon as it hit the ground, it just broke. Because out of the box, these things are pretty lame. These are knockoffs, but the one that I did have wasn't a knockoff. This one's about 20 bucks on eBay. But this one, I'll show you what I did to it. So, despite this one's broken, because I broke it, from lack of a better term. So what I did was, I found out that if you drop these things, you give them any shock, what happens is, like I dropped it straight down. So what happens is the battery weight jams, and there's a, I should have took this apart before I started, but this battery connector right here wobbles. It'll go back and forth. If you push it back, it stays back there. So when you crash, the weight of the battery will push it up, and it'll break contact. It won't come back down, and your GPS is dead. So let me take this off quick. Anyways, you get the point. You take this out, and so what I did was this thing is loose back here, loosened up, so pushed back. So I took some Gorilla Glue and I glued it underneath there and pushed it straight down, let it set, and then of course it said it's like rock hard now, it ain't going anywhere. So on top of that, I took the battery, put it in. Oh yeah, I also took out these buttons. When you pull this out, these buttons will come off, because what I found out, it's better to leave this thing on all the time as opposed to shutting it off when you're not using it. But you can easily pick it up, you know, buy this and shut it off, and you won't even realize it. So I took those buttons out. So with the buttons out, you just press the screwdriver in there and it'll turn it on like you want. This stuff here, just regular shipping styrofoam. This stuff's like layered. So I peeled off with layer. I got it the right size, and I got it to fit over the battery. It was thinner than this, the piece I used, but just to show it, make an example. And then I also took and cut another piece, like right here, and I stuffed that in the side of the battery. I'm just showing this as an example. This isn't exactly how I did it, but it's close. So essentially what you got there is your battery is stable and it's not going to move around even if you drop it. And then part 3 was I took cellophane tape and just taped everything up tight like a frog's ass. So my crash yesterday, what happened was I was flying, and you know, this is the tail end of that video, but I lost connection at the last second. I was trying to raise my altitude and I was short by about 5 feet, and it flew in. This one here was the one that flew into the tip of the tree. So I broke off these 2 landing pads, and I got to change the gimbal cable on the camera. Camera itself's fine, it still has a picture, but the gimbal isn't working. But I have a spare, so, and I've done them before, not a big deal. With that, so in this configuration here, this is the cheap ass. It's a laser, not laser. It's a 3D printed holder. So what I do is I kind of line it up. There's a piece of Velcro here and here. So you slap it on. These things won't stay in place on their own. They're pretty shitty made, but for this purpose it works. So I take my Velcro and I stick it just enough, like just to get like half the battery covered. And I take a second Velcro strap, run it under there, give me enough room to press the power button on, and then flip it over. We'll have to do this first, tighten this one down, and I do them as tight as I can get them, like that, and then slide this in, flip it over, This is a strip of Velcro I got. I don't know, maybe it's 1 inch, 3/4 inch, I don't know. And then you run the Velcro strap. Oh, come on. I had to go back and redo this part because my GoPro, which I'm using it to monitor what I can see, because you can't see anything from a GoPro when it's on your head. I lost my Wi-Fi connection, so I got to do this part over again. So anyways, this is the part about attaching it back on the drone. That's backwards, this way. So you snap it. You can get, like I said, get these on eBay, Amazon. They're laser printed. They're pretty durable, but they just don't fit right. So get it on there as best as you can. Snap it on. And then this has Velcro on the other side, like I said. Tighten that bastard down as tight as you can get it. And then I flip it over. Like I said, I tucked this other piece of Velcro, like I said, with 3/4 inch maybe it is. They come in a little roll. You just cut it to what you need. So I stick it back just to give me enough room to press the battery. And that actually fits perfectly between the sensors. Here. And then it's just a matter of, again, pulling it as tight as you can get it. Like that. Make sure it's in between the sensors. These are like sonar or audio sensors, and this is a visual. These two at the back, front and back. That's basically, it's a camera, and it sees what's on the ground. Same as the ones up here. Be nice if they had them in the back. But that's pretty much it. That thing is on there. You know, when mine crashed the first time, everything came off. This GPS tracker, I don't know what happened to it. The battery came out. Couldn't find it. Like I found it 3 months later, and the battery was ruined because it had 80% charge, but it was no good anymore. It's all bowed up and bulging. But this is extremely, really on there. Like I said, this thing survived a 200-foot crash, probably a nosedive, and everything stayed in place. The battery didn't pop out, so I was able to connect to the drone when I got near it with the RC, and sure enough, I called the GPS tracker. Bam, it was right there. So that's all I got for now. I hope this helped somebody. Later.